kind of lost right now because I've been struggling to create not only videos, but photos. I can make them, no problem, but there's kind of a lot that goes on in my head that kind of tries to self-sabotage the process pretty much the entire time. So when I start to feel this way about my work, I start to look outside of my own head for answers. And YouTube has helped me a lot in that process. But I think for a really long time, those of us that have come up learning things on YouTube, we've been kind of told by people on the internet how to make things to appease the algorithm, how to write a hook, how to edit for retention, how to make people click with thumbnails and titles. I have followed most of that advice over the years in one way or another, but lately I've been feeling like it's getting to the point that if I keep making that way, I'm gonna go crazy. Trying to create for people's attention span these days is an impossible task. And more importantly, it's just not why I got into art and making things in the first place. I've always been the type that wants to create for myself, but I have noticed that if the content is too me focused, nobody but you will sort of end up caring. Internet gurus will tell you this in the form of you have to create value for the audience, but I've always thought that that's sort of dystopian. But I didn't get into this to create value for them. That should be a byproduct of me making the best thing that I can for myself. But I can tell you from experience that if something feels right to you, and it's actually coming from a real place of authenticity, it can connect with people. But that doesn't mean that it's gonna do big numbers. Every time I've had a video really take off, it was content. The stuff that I really wanted to take off, the stuff that I consider my art, has never worked in that way. And for some reason, it kind of feels like the less you give a shit about the stuff you put on the internet, the better it does. And then that raises questions in my own head, like, does how I feel about my art matter at all? And do I need to like my own work? Or should I just get out of my way and stop asking myself these circular questions? It's probably that one. But then that made me ask the question is, why is the stuff that I care less about doing better online than the stuff I actually pour myself into? I've always secretly sort of referred to this phenomenon to myself as the Kurt Cobain effect. And I should preface this with saying that I don't know that this is the truth, but I had always heard growing up that Kurt Cobain hated the song Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Kurt's punk rock ethos, along with the mental illness or illnesses he faced, made him also despise that success.
As an artist raised in the ethically suffocating punk rock underground, conditioned to reject conformity, to resist all corporate influence and expectation, where do you go? How do you deal with that kind of success?
When I was young, I really didn't understand how somebody could feel like that, especially somebody that had seemingly everything that I was looking to obtain as an adult, especially when it was something so successful.
But mostly, it was that contradiction Kurt battled with, wanting commercial success, but feeling guilty once it was achieved.
But the older I've gotten and the more work that I have made, the more I've sort of realized it's really easy to become bitter about what the audience seemingly wants and connects with, especially when that doesn't align with what you want to make. But if you start thinking about them while you're making it, it's already not as good as it could be if you were just making it for yourself. And then I also came across this clip of Rick Rubin saying, well, a lot of Rick Rubin-esque things, actually. I came across him saying this.
You know, one of the things I say in the book is the audience comes last. And the audience comes last, not because I don't care about them or I don't like the audience. In service to the audience, they have to come last. Yeah. The thing that the audience wants is the best thing they can get. If we're trying to make it for them, it won't be the best thing it can get. It'll water it down. The process of making something for someone else undermines it.
The process of making something for someone else undermines it. So I thought about that a lot. And if people that I respect are saying things like that, and I'm over here having this experience, there's got to be something to it. Because most of the time, I do hate my own work. And I am almost always surprised when other people like it, because all I see are its flaws. Regardless of the flaws, if I feel something when I'm looking at it, even if it is imperfect, chances are pretty good that somebody else is going to feel that too. And the more images that I make that I feel and connect with in that way, the more other people seem to connect with it as well. And that's not me thinking about the audience when I'm making the work. People connecting with it are a byproduct of me connecting with my own work. But when I hate it, it really fuels me to make something better than the thing that I made last time. And it's a cycle that has kept me growing consistently as a photographer. I've had people say to me about my work, I love that photo where blankety blank did blankety blank. And almost every time that's happened so far, it's been about a photo that I don't even really remember taking. The point is, you just never know what is going to stick in people's minds and what they are going to connect with. All you can do is make something that you like. And when it's done, if people connect with it, that is the bonus. And the baggage that you bring to your own art is not the same baggage that everybody else views it with. They will perceive it differently from you as the one who made it. But what will keep you up at night is that if you make it for them and they still don't connect with it. And that's why it's important to fall in love with the process and not just look to gain from the outcome. Art is about making something that only you can make, showing your perspective in your world to other people. And some people are really successful making things on platforms for the audience. And when you see creators doing that, it can be really tempting to want to try and replicate it, when what you should be doing is doubling down on what makes your art your art. Because in the long run, when the algorithm swings in the other direction, you will not be caught trying to catch the next wave, because you will have been too busy creating your own wave. There is always going to be a next wave. And if you spend all your time chasing it, you will lose what made your art special in the first place. So just start to focus on your own journey as an artist and as a photographer. And just stop worrying about how it's going to be perceived. Start making for yourself again and fuck what other people think, because it doesn't matter. What's more important is that you can lay down at night knowing that you made your work for yourself. Even if other people are very successful doing it in another way. I really appreciate all of the new subs and just all the support that I've been getting, both here on this platform and over on Instagram. If you want to see more of my work, I will link my Instagram down below. I post over there every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Mike Feiner out. See ya.